device, you guys. This is no small feat. How are you? Merry Christmas. Mostly, I'm just coming on to do a test drive. So I have a new microphone. You see it? And I've got my new laptop. And I've got you, babe. So I don't see anyone saying hello yet. And if you are here and want to say hello, that would be quite nice. So I know things are working. Let's see. Merry Christmas. Seriously. It's still Christmas. Mark Molina. Hi. How are you, sir? Mr. Mark. It's so good to see you. I have this new laptop and I'm worried that it's going to be like all glitchy. Is it glitchy or is it smooth? It's not like the gaming laptop that I used to have. It's good and the sound is good. Hello, unspoken heart stillness. Nice to see you guys. Oh my goodness, and watch this. Smooth. I think camera looks better. Oh my goodness, better than the last one. And look, I am going to be able to pin your message. It's nice and big and I can read it. Very exciting. So I'm coming on, like I said, mostly just to test drive my new apparatus. I do want to talk about blanking Mark and unspoken. I don't know what to do. A little glitchy. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's so frustrating. I'm ready to throw things, but I've gotten used to my cell phone, so I could go to my cell phone if that might be better, but then I'm not going to be able to pin your messages, and I don't know. I have no idea. This dang technology, it's so cool. There's so much about it that's so cool, but it is really difficult to master, right? So let's look at some notes. Did you guys see the Seeker of Truth video? It was amazing. It was just a couple hours ago. It was like a premiere. And all about Kylie, of course, and Truckee. It could be internet, not computer. I wonder. Our internet's pretty good, but who knows? Smooth now. Oh, phew. I was just like, dang it. All right. So, how's the set? Yeah, so much always chasing. Nope, you haven't seen it. Okay. Well, then I won't do a spoiler alert, but I will ask you to hit your like button, the nice big old creepy hand, and where am I going to set that? And please subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell if you like. And everything I say is simply my opinion, simply for the sake of hoping to start a conversation with Mark and Unspoken Heart Stillness and anyone else who might be lurking. And I think that Divine Justice, aka Mrs. G, the honey badger, might be on live. So that might be where some of my regulars are. And I almost didn't come on live because I saw she was on live and I was going to just jump in her chat. But then I thought I need to make sure my computer's working. So, not to compete with Mrs. G, the honey badger. So, it's a wider angle of the set. Yeah, much wider angle. And I like that. But anyway, I didn't finish my disclaimer. My videos are all made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform. I hope that I'm educational. I hope that I am getting educated. I enjoy talking with you guys. I came on live last night for Christmas Eve. It was actually after midnight, so it was technically today. I did a live and one person was there, and then two. Oh, was that today, Mark? When was that live? I missed it. I'm so sorry. I would have loved to have been there. And I just drank out of my refill jar because my glass is getting empty. All right. I got to keep drinking my water. I get very thirsty when I'm talking these days. It must be because it's winter. I bet you that's it. Anyway, these videos are for court, our lawyers, LOL. We're lawyers. It was today. Oh, cool. So, yeah, I had a nice Christmas. I mentioned on my last video, I really kind of hold my breath for Christmas to be over. And I say that, you know, on the down low, because it's not that I don't like Christmas, it's just that it's stressful. And I like regular life. So it's like I'm looking forward to tomorrow just being a regular day, right? Anyway, the truth seeker of truth, the Kylie Rodney video. It was fine just saying hi and what I had on Kylie. Do you want to share what you had on Kylie? The Seeker of Truth video was pretty interesting, to say the least, and very wild. Really kind of overboard in a good way from my perspective, my opinion. Just kind of, pardon the expression, balls to the walls, looking at the crapola there in Truckee and in Idaho and in Lahaina, and really connecting the kind of Jeffrey Epstein-esque kind of situation with these places and people that frequent these places. Puppy is so sweet, and my Christmas was great. God bless. Yes, absolutely. God bless everyone. So yeah, the Seeker of Truth video was, like I said, kind of over the top, and also I think well warranted. I really do. I don't claim to have the answers, but I do think that Kylie Rodney and the other cases like hers have opened my eyes and many other people's eyes to see what has been going on in that area for a long time. So it's pretty disgusting, and I don't know, it's disgraceful. I'll put a link to Seeker of Truth's video in my description. So trying to read my note and remember what I was thinking. A whole lot of data coming on other people, info, more investigations. So I said something in my video last night about the connections that some of the people have in these cases. And when I say these cases, mostly I'm talking about the Kylie Rodney case, talking about the Idaho 4 case. And Mark, you know, as we've done a lot of deep diving sort of as a squirrel squad team. Hey, Poise the Noise. Nice to see you. And let's see, my train of thought, where is it? I want to read your long one too. I'll go ahead and pin it. So the connections of the people in these stories, like, for instance, let's look at Zaname in the Kylie Rodney case. Zaname's niece, it seems, went to prom maybe with a group that Kylie was involved with. Like maybe they all went together as a group of friends. I don't know. It seems like there's a picture of the two of them and Mags and a few others out on a balcony on the lake, and they're getting ready to go to prom. So I don't know. And then there's the Red Flag Ronnie. No, the other guy, Milo. Milo seems to be related to Zanime. There's a picture of the two of them at a wedding on one of their Facebook pages. It's been a while since I've looked at it, so I can't remember precisely the details. But then again, the connections, all these weird connections. I brought up a big one recently with Sheriff Wu's nephew's Facebook page. And when he changed his profile picture to the actor who was on Ickmael and saying that he was the Ronnie dude. So a year before this happened with Kylie Rodney, Nate Wu uses that actor's photograph for his profile picture. That's weird. That's really weird. So, these are connections that might seem a little esoteric and not so relevant, but to me, they're extremely relevant. And this is just a handful. So, Mark says it was using AI to look at what the official story, Barb Chat GTP, and look at corruption stats. And Lindsay is still on my radar highly and looked at Trinity Bacchus on AI Bard. Oh, so you did see it. I thought you said that you didn't. Anyway, yeah, that's a much better Cliff Notes version than mine. Thank you. And just I'm having fun that I can pin the messages. It's been 2 months, you guys, since I've been without a laptop. So this is a big deal and pretty exciting. And who is Nick G connected to? And or Check It and SF? Yeah, really good points, Mark. Yeah, weird. And Ryan busted Ronnie Milo. That was so crazy. Them's Ronnie shoes. Like, that was completely whack. Completely whack. These people tell on themselves. For that, we can thank them, right? So now that I've got my laptop, I also can look stuff up on my cell phone while I'm talking to you guys. So that's really cool. And let's see, I'm just trying to find some notes that I made on my phone. I watched a movie today that some people in my chat kind of led me to last night. What was it called? Amazing movie. I'm so glad I saw it. It's called Rebel in the Rye. So it's kind of the life story of JD Salinger. And it came out in 2017 and it's starring Kevin Spacey. So I'm sure you guys remember Kevin Spacey went down in a dumpster fire shit show with being another one of these pervs and harassers. And that news broke at the same time that this JD Salinger movie came out. So it tanked the movie. Like nobody saw the movie because everybody was so grossed out by Kevin Spacey. And I want to tell you about that. Hey, Ara, nice to see you. Very, very nice to see you. Poise, thank you for your compliment. It's always fun to have the background. So this movie of JD Salinger's life, the cool thing about it getting derailed and not having a lot of attention in Hollywood is, and through, nationally, is that JD Salinger hated the attention. He hated publishing. He loved to write and he quit publishing because publishing ruined it for him. And I totally get that. as an artist, as a creative person, I totally understand where he's coming from. So for those of you that don't know, I have been a JD Salinger fan my entire life. The Catcher in the Rye is one of the few books that I've read probably a dozen times, if not more. And I don't know that there's any other book that I've read more than twice, maybe. Um, anyway, Salinger's very mysterious, and he passed away. I didn't even know that he passed away until people were talking about a different Salinger in my chat last night. I think it's his daughter. And he passed away in 2010, and he had really bad dementia. And it seems so his daughter has a YouTube channel, you guys. And of course, I didn't write her name down. And let's see, I don't think I have it with me. But her YouTube channel, she puts up a lot of videos of her dad and doing his dementia stuff. And he passed away 13 years ago, and she's still posting videos actively. And it kind of skeeves me out. Like, the guy hated publicity, and she's like publicizing his dementia on YouTube, like completely exploiting her last name and him, even in his afterlife. I just think that's crazy, absolutely crazy. Truckee Code of Silence is insane. Yeah. And so you said Cone of Silence, which is a cool typo, because talking about the porous cone in on Maui, that they are moving forward with filling it with the toxic debris from the Lahaina fires. Unbelievable. And what, we're looking at 3 days until the demolition of the 1122 King or Queen Road residence. Um, so how are you, Ara? Thank you for coming on in. I know that I might be competing with some of our Squirrel Squad audience with Divine Justice, aka Mrs. G. I just really wanted to come on live because this is a brand new device that I'm using, and I wanted to make sure that it works. So let's see. There is a quote from the movie. This is what I was looking up on my phone, my note. I love this. I absolutely love this. Towards the beginning of the movie, and Salinger's in college, and he says, "I write because I get angry about a lot of things, and this way I feel like I'm doing something about it." Is that so cute? I write because I get angry about a lot of things, and this way I feel like I'm doing something about it. And I thought, is that along the same vein of why I do my YouTube channel? Because I get angry about the situation, say with Kylie Rodney or with Idaho 4 or with the Lahaina fires. And by expressing myself on my YouTube channel and having you guys expressing yourselves with me, I feel like I'm doing something about it. So I thought that was cool. Salinger really shaped a lot of my life, and it was fascinating to learn so much more of his story because there was so much about him that I didn't know, because he tried to keep himself on a low profile. He kind of lived like a monk. uh, Once he got famous, he did not appreciate being famous at all. Understandably so. You guys know that I always say that that's like the kiss of death. But also, just I didn't even know like some real basic stuff. He was drafted for the war, and his girlfriend turned around and married Charlie Chaplin as soon as he was deployed. And she was a lot younger than Charlie Chaplin. So that was a huge blow. And then fighting in World War II was a huge blow to his psyche. He had full-blown post-traumatic stress disorder. During the war, he went to the Nazi concentration camps because he was multilingual, and he interviewed some Nazis, and it messed him up so bad. He came back to the United States of America and was institutionalized. And in his own words in the movie, he couldn't even remember his name. That's how effed up he was from what he saw in war. And I'm sure the losing his girlfriend to a big star didn't help either. Her father was famous. Her father was like I think he wrote comedy movies or something like that. I forget. Anyway, Salinger came from an extremely wealthy family in New York City. His father sold meat and cheese, and they wanted him to be in the family business and sell meat and cheese. And they were like, some of the 1%, the elite. And one of the most horrible things about what his father did for a living is that his father was half Jewish, and he sold pigs as part of his trade, which, if you know, Jewish people do not eat pigs. So that kind of builds the foundation in my mind of Salinger's whole theme of hating phonies. His father was pretty brutal emotionally to him, and really discouraged him from writing. So he achieved great success. He got like the most sought after contract with New Yorker magazine. New Yorker magazine was also where Truman Capote worked. So fascinating interactions with some of these famous people. Like I said, Salinger's girlfriend marrying Charlie Chaplin. Pretty wild. So he did, I think, get married 3 times. And then, like I said, he passed away in 2010. And I didn't realize he passed away, but I was very happy that people were talking about him in the chat. And then, like I said, I watched that movie today, and it was riveting, absolutely riveting. The Catcher in the Rye, I've always felt like a weirdo for feeling like it spoke to me so well. But now I understand. Now I really understand on a really deep level that he wrote that story after his complete psychotic break and after the full-blown post-traumatic stress disorder. And I've grown up with post-traumatic stress disorder and didn't even realize it for a long time because I was poisoned with the intent to unalive me when I was 11 years old. And I almost was unalived. I believed that it was an accident. It was about 10 years later that I realized there was no way it was an accident. So it's a large part of my life story and what makes me tick, and just the constitution of my personality, and why I do true crime, and why I studied psychology and art therapy, why I like to stay in therapy. And for me, doing the true crime YouTube is therapeutic, you guys. And yeah, when Salinger got so dismayed with writing, and when he came out of the psychiatric hospital and he was really having a writer's block, that's when he started working with a spiritual guide who taught him meditation and yoga and taught him basically how to get back into his writing. And he would write and tear up the paper, tear up the pages. That was his therapy. And I thought that was really cute. Like, so it was therapeutic for him to write and then therapeutic for him to tear it up. And I can only imagine how much of an accumulation of work he had when he passed away that I would imagine will never be released. That's probably paramount for his wishes with his will. And I don't know if you guys have read JD Salinger's Catcher in the Rye. You know, it's one of those books that a lot of people were forced to read in school. It was also a book that was usually on the burn list, right? So he only wrote 4 other books, and they were, or 3 other books, 4 including that one, and they were collections of short stories. So let's see. Bex is here, outdoorsy life. And yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Maui Lahaina makes me so mad and sad. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. I keep trying to stay caught up with Eric West and everything that Brush Junkie puts out. Oh, Drip Drop dropped a new one today. Have you guys seen it? Another great one. I really enjoy that content creator. Um, so, Mom first, always good to see you. I saw you earlier in Shan's live. Um, and no real journalism anymore. Oh, yeah. Um, J.R. Nana Boomer again. I feel so special. Well, you are. You are super special. So, this is my new device, J.R. Nana. My new device, and I've got a mic on and everything. So, how do you like it? Is it working? Check, check. um, I really felt like it was a wonderful Christmas gift to get the information about Salinger and to see that movie today. So I highly recommend it for anyone who is interested in his life story. And like I said, I'm sure it would have been extremely popular had Kevin Spacey not derailed the whole um, presentation of the movie with his perverted crap, his crapola. Incredibly good. Awesome, J.R. Nana. I always want to call you J.R. Jarana. J. Rana. I did that for the longest time. So, yes, Merry Christmas to all of us. It's 11:11, so make a prayer. You know, that's the angel number. That is a magic number, in my opinion. And that 1111 Tarot is a really cool channel. That content creator, I think, puts out a lot of positive energy. And that's what I'm trying to do with my channel. I'm really trying to promote wellness. You guys probably are aware that I'm midway through a yoga training program. And I just taught my first mini yoga class yesterday for the first time in my life. I think when I was young, I kind of did yoga and would kind of guide people to stretch with me, basically. But this was the first time as an adult and as a teacher. And I did a class, just me and my 21-year-old daughter. And it was a really cool Christmas gift to me and to her. And we both enjoyed it a great deal. So I'm transforming into a yoga teacher. It's crazy. I never thought it would happen to me. I've always wanted to do the yoga training, but I never saw myself as a yoga teacher. And still now, it's hard to wrap my mind around. And I feel like it's quite the challenge, quite an uphill battle, because it's really nice when you're doing yoga to not have to think and to let someone else guide me and tell me what stretches to do. It's really wild being on the other side of it and seeing how the sequence of different positions and different forms how they go together. So, for instance, I'll just talk yoga for a second, don't worry. So do like a star pose, right? Like just with your arms straight out and your legs kind of a wide stance. That's called the star pose. And from the star pose, I didn't realize until I was teaching my daughter the class last night how easy it is to get from star pose into warrior. If you know what warrior is, you just kind of from that star pose, just turn to one side and you have one arm in front of you pointing forward, one arm behind you, and you kind of do a little bit of a lunge with your front knee, and that's warrior. So, star warrior. Anyway, like I said, I'll only talk yoga for a second. Yes, yoga Jedi Master Sleuth. Oh, Mark, you're so cute. That's hilarious. I love it. Let's see. Trying to pin that one. Oh, it's so exciting to be able to pin again. My goodness. It's really cool that you can be so stretched out all the time. I just like to be healthy. You guys know I'm always preaching, and I'm not preaching to talk down to anyone. I'm preaching to remind myself to drink my water and eat my vegetables and eat high protein and get exercise and sunshine and fresh air and relax and be nice and, forgive yourself and forgive others. All that stuff that I say at my closing, I'm not trying to tell people how to do things. I'm simply trying to remind myself of all the things that I think are smart to do. So, stretching is incredibly smart and exercising is incredibly smart. But if you're only going to do one or the other, it's really the stretching that's more important. And sometimes I get caught up in swimming or walking or other biking, cycling, other exercise activities, maybe playing soccer or basketball or volleyball, and I don't stretch enough. A lot of us don't stretch enough. So I like to say if you're only going to do one or the other, you're either going to stretch or do exercise. It's better to do the stretching. So it's hard to do that. Another similarity that I felt with Salinger is that he was constantly in his life trying to eliminate distractions from his creativity. And that's what I feel like with my YouTube channel. I try to eliminate distractions so that I can focus on this. And it's also something that you need to do when you're trying to do something new in your life, like teaching yoga. So that's something that I've been doing is trying to figure out what other hobbies I have that I can neglect, like my jewelry designing, so that I can open up more space and not be distracted by my sewing habits and my gardening habits and just focus on true crime and yoga because I'm really dedicated to both. And I certainly don't want one to interfere with the other. And then I work full time too. So I would like to quit my job, but who wouldn't? I mean, I like my job a lot, but it would be nice just to be able to do YouTube and yoga. And maybe sometime that'll happen. But I always like to have a lot of balls in the air and kind of live my life in high gear. So I like to have too much on my plate, but it's also stressful sometimes. So yeah, I've been fantasizing about quitting my job so that I can focus on more yoga and more YouTube. But I'm kind of addicted or just dependent on financial stability. I mean, it's a nice thing, and I don't want to give that up. So, especially being a parent with 4 children, and man, are they expensive. And as they get older, they just get more and more expensive. So, it's nice to be able to cover the bills and not be so stressed out about money. Um, so, and not be so stretched out with the money. Anyway, dog yoga pro here. Yeah, the downward dog. That's a very good posture, and most people probably know the downward dog. It's an easy one. Um, Trying to think of some of the other easy ones that I really like. There's something called a mini cobra when you're laying on your stomach, and there's the cobra or the sphinx where you push yourself all the way up and kind of do a back bend. But the mini cobra is also very cool. And it's important to warm yourself up. So to not just get right into a cobra position, but to do first a mini cobra. So that's one that maybe some people aren't familiar with. And every little stretch that you do is so profound. Like, so I will talk yoga for another minute. Um, Basically what I'm doing as a student is I'm building my master class. So I start with my beginning posture and then the warm up stretches and then continuing from there and getting more uh, involved with different shapes, different positions, different poses, and you get warmed up and then you cool down. So building that master class and building a master song list to go with it. But the way that I'm starting, and you guys, we can all do this together right now. I wasn't even thinking that we'd do a yoga class online, but here we go. Seriously, because it's so good for you, is just simple neck stretch. A really good one to start with. And you can assist yourself by putting your hand on your head and just stretching it a little bit further. It's also really important, of course, to not overdo it. But I hope you guys are stretching with me because it feels so good and it's so important. And every little movement that you make, you can get a stretch. You can push yourself to where you're just going a little bit beyond your comfort zone, but not too much. And the cool thing about yoga is it doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter if you're not flexible. You can still do it. Let's see. I JR Nana Boomer. I can't say I disagree. My favorite part of yoga has always been the end. So yeah, and you spend about 15 minutes warming up and then about 15 minutes doing some serious balance and lunges and things like that, and then 15 minutes cooling down, and it's a quick class. So yeah, if it feels really hard, you just got to remember that it's almost over. I'm off vodka. Wait, I didn't tag that one. I meant to. My favorite part of yoga has always been the end. Yeah, you got to be honest, right? But yeah, I really feel like each class that I do is like a gift to myself when I'm taking classes, because that's also, of course, part of being a student is taking as many classes as you can. So I was pretty easy on myself over the holidays, and I might do a class tomorrow night. Um, let's see and get back on track. I'm off vodka even when bored or stressed or holidays because it's a new year. Yeah, it's hard on our systems to be drinking alcohol. So I hope that for people that want to focus on health, I hope that you can stay away from that crap. Sugar, heavy food, um, starchy food, processed food, alcohol, it's all crap. Don't do it. You're only hurting yourself, man. Let's see. It's really important to keep your body limber like that. I cannot begin to tell you how difficult it is to be so tight all the time. Right. So, like I said, yeah, you're really doing yourself a favor and giving yourself a gift. And you get immediate gratification. It's phenomenal how quickly you improve when you're doing it as often as you can. I mean, it is quite a cool thing to see progress on yourself. It's painful, and it is because I don't stretch. I have taken it for granted. And see, my problem is if I don't go to a yoga class, I don't do my yoga. Like I kind of am doing it in my head all the time and thinking, yeah, I'm stretching, I'm doing yoga. But no, if I'm not in a class, in a classroom, not at home, because when I try to do it at home, I don't do very much of it. I get distracted. So I do need to be doing more at home too. That's part of my homework. There's a lot of homework. Let's see. Oh, to be young again, Jazz. That's cute. Um, and yeah, especially as we age, it's even more important for sure. YouTube needs to pay me, LOL, not for views, but for past work. Oh, how cute. When you worked there, um, yeah, one of the things that I really connected with Salinger and his life story is that he didn't want to be published. I mentioned that. He really despised the whole process of publishing and how it kind of sucked the life out of his creativity. And I totally get that. Um, he said something like, I don't care if people read what I write. I just want to write what I feel like I need to write. And I'm kind of like that with my YouTube channel. Like I want to get my information out there. I want to share my information, but I don't want a whole lot of viewers because that comes with just a whole nother can of worms. We don't even need to get into it. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with your email. It's a lot to keep up with the comments in your comment section. Um, there's a lot to it. So, there's a mix. I have not seen somebody doing yoga and she crime all on the same video simultaneously. I love it. That's so cute. I know. See, I didn't think I would even talk about the yoga on true crime. And yeah, we can do yoga and true crime, right? I'm a psychotherapist by trade, and I was kind of thinking, like, as a one-on-one yoga instructor, you could actually do psychotherapy while you're doing yoga. So it's not something I ever thought about. I just kind of came up with that in the last 24 hours. Um, and yeah, for me, my true crime is part of my psychotherapy. So, oh, hello, Gray Pearl. Did I? Yeah, I did tag that one. Gray Pearl says, Merry Christmas to all. Thank goodness it's almost over. Oh, were you watching earlier when I said that? We're so close to being done with it. Only 34 minutes. I mean, I do love Christmas. Don't get me wrong. It is just, it's a lot of pressure. It is a lot of work and a lot of shopping, a lot of wrapping, just a lot of everything. Um, Fudging voice to text. Yeah, that's frustrating, isn't it? So Gray Pearl says, yoga, question mark. Yeah, I'm becoming a yoga instructor. It's something I've wanted to do forever and a day and never thought I'd do it. It's kind of like on my bucket list, I guess. Oh my God, you're on a nice laptop. Fantastic lighting. I love it. Thank you for noticing, Sharon. Yeah, it's a new laptop. So it's my fourth one, you guys. I've gone through, this is my fourth laptop. So I've kind of burned through two of those three. The first one was just a bad, old, crappy laptop. So then I upgraded and got a nice laptop. And then I think that one got hacked and fried. Um, so then I went and got a super nice laptop. And then that one, I don't think it got hacked and fried, but I have no idea. Um, anyway, you guys don't even want me to get started talking about that one, because that was the one that I took to get fixed 2 months ago. And we're just done with that whole part of the conversation. So now I'm on my fourth laptop. Yeah, yeah. And I do feel so rusty with the laptop. It's so funny because I finally adjusted to that dreaded cell phone. Oh man, I felt like it was like the methadone treatment or something to try to exist with YouTube and just a cell phone. That was really rough. I'm amazed that people do that, that people have their channels with just a cell phone. Sorry, I just got here. I'm shocked at your nice setup. Well, the thing that I like about it the most is that I can look at my cell phone. I can look stuff up. I can Google while I'm talking to you guys. Like I was even thinking the channel that that people told me about last night, that is Danielle Salinger is her name. So I'm looking it up right now. And like I said, I think she's exploiting her father. Um, and I don't know. I mean, the person who brought it up said that they really like the channel. It's Mrs. DSAL NorCal. So Mrs. D Sal, so for Salinger NorCal, that's the name of her channel. But you can also find it just Danielle Salinger. And I don't know. At first I thought, oh, how cool that she's got this YouTube channel. But then looking at it, it's like, oh, this one is different. Okay. Anyway, it's interesting. Um, so yeah, a lot of videos of her dad when he was having Alzheimer's attack. So here's the name of the channel: D Sal NorCal. So DSALNORCAL. If you're interested in checking it out, but I just don't understand why she's posting all these videos of her father, who was such a private person. I don't understand. So anyway, let me keep up with your chat. Um, Jazz, I commend you for being all you can be and the best you can be. Oh, you're so cute. You know, of course, I have to neglect a lot of things to just keep my focus on the things that I want to keep my focus on. So I just try to do what I can, and I try not to get too stressed out. Yeah, and I've kind of lived my adult life like that, where I just, if I'm doing too much, I just focus on one thing at a time. So, um, seriously, no joke. I think you've got something there, combining your yoga with your true crime. I mean, not necessarily, the whole big stretches, but the one like you just did for the neck. Yeah, we can do more. I mean, I like to be spontaneous and just see what happens and see how it goes. That's the cool thing about life in general. I was quoting John Lennon the other day. I think the quote is, life is what happens while we're busy making plans. And I think the coolest thing is to be spontaneous. And this is why I like to have structure and routine, because that lays the foundation for the freedom to switch things up. And just the littlest thing makes a big difference. So, um, yeah, if I if that seems like a cool direction for us to go in, then darn it, we'll just go in that direction. And yeah, chair yoga. Let's see. True crime chair yoga. Very cute. Gray Pearl. Let's see. I'm on a live. It's a lot for sure. Glad to be here. Um, Annie Ruler, Merry Christmas. Jersey Eagle, Merry Christmas to you too. Okay, Jersey Eagle just brought up one of my favorites, you guys. Um, so can you do this? Oh, wait. My mic. Can you do this with your hands? Because this position right here is called the eagle pose. And you can do it one way and then the other way. Here we go. I wasn't doing it right. This is the eagle pose. And because I'm wearing black, it might be hard to see how I'm doing that, but I'll do it the other way too so you can see. This is really good for releasing the tension in your upper back. And it's just a cool kind of a twist with your hands, but the purpose of it is for your back actually. So that the eagle pose with the arms is really easy. You can also do it with your legs, which is a lot harder because then you have to balance on one foot. But yeah, that's one of my favorites, the eagle pose. So yeah, let's all do eagle pose together. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, there are a lot of cool ones. I'm trying to think of, shoulder stands. Oh, I did this with my daughter last night. It's called legs up against the wall. So you can move your yoga mat to the wall and get your butt right at the wall and legs straight up. It's that simple. And she told me that that's like a life hack on TikTok for when you're bloated, to do that for 5 minutes. And it is a really good stretch and a really good way to relax. But from that, again, it wasn't until I was teaching her the little class yesterday, I didn't realize how easy when you're doing legs up against the wall, because normally then I move away from the wall to do a shoulder stand, but you can keep your legs up against the wall and then it's super easy to get into a shoulder stand. And shoulder stands are very good for you. One of the coolest things about yoga is that it exercises your internal organs. So that's where it's really making your body healthier. And that's one of the things I liked about swimming, is that really exercises your internal organs too. So let's see. Eagle pose is great if I'm on panel and I don't have to rely on typing to respond. When have you seen me on panel? Ha ha ha, never. That's funny. Let's see. How come it's not giving me the option to pin your message? So yeah, eagle pose is cool. And then the legs up the wall is also super cool, super easy. And that I feel like is kind of my niche possibly with yoga, is trying to teach people the super easy things and trying to make it more accessible to people that feel like, oh, yoga, I can't do that, because like I said, every little bit that you do is super important. Balancing is super important. Just standing on one leg, many people can't do that. And it is an essential skill to have for longevity. So if you can balance on one leg just a few times a day, do it. Anyway, so yeah, true crime, yoga, and I guess we won't talk jewelry anymore. All my giveaways are over. I do still have a few people I need to catch up with to get addresses to send the things that they won. And I don't know if I'll chase them down or what, because I just need addresses to send to. And if you are one of the people that won something and you haven't emailed me your address yet, you know my email is in my description. It's justiceatooz@gmail.com. And if you email me a physical address that I can send to, then I can send whatever the gift was that you won. I heard of bed yoga, thinking about trying. My body is like a big sun butt. So there is a position in yoga that is called the corpse pose, and it's just laying down flat on your back with your arms beside you. But then you can mix up corpse pose and you can do like arms in a T, and also cactus arms is a good one. But yeah, corpse pose is a good way to end a yoga class, a good way to relax. Sunburn and bruise. I am great at corpse. Yeah, that's cute, Annie Ruler. That's funny. I'm great at corpse, dominant all day, 4 days a week. Too funny. So, let's see. Shall we talk Idaho 4? Shall we talk Maui? Kylie Rodney? We're just at about an hour, so I do want to get into some more structured conversation about true crime. I'm just kind of chilling with you guys, so I hope you don't mind that we're all over the place with our yoga talk and everything else. And Idaho 4, 3 days away from the demo. I will be surprised. I guess I'll be surprised if they don't do it. I fully expect them to do it. I don't think it's a good idea. And I said this yesterday in last night's video. I really think, to me, the destruction of evidence is evidence to me that they are hiding something. They want to destroy the evidence. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Oh, Gray Pearl, you're so nice. Perfect Christmas night content. So, I'm kind of heartbroken that they're going to tear it down. I think it needs to stay up, and I understand the argument about emotionally people wanting to move forward and not have that there, but weighing that out with needing justice, and I believe that a lot of people will not find the resolve that they think they're going to find by knocking that building down. I think that is kind of unrealistic to think that just taking the building down is going to help you get better. I don't think it's going to. And in some ways, it might do quite the opposite. So, Poise the Noise says, I would definitely like yoga, true crime, and jewelry podcast. Well, here you are. Here you are. I did make the earrings, the trees with this little bubble thing. I actually love these. So I'm going to get them closer for you guys because it is a very unusual clear bead. It's kind of pinkish, and then the tree is green and has some pink in it. So when I say made, I just mean assembled, just putting stuff together. I like to take jewelry apart and then, take a bunch of things apart and then mix them all up and redo them. Where's the necklace? I had the necklace here a minute ago. This is a wild necklace that I have with it. And I took it off because it was just a little bit busy for the video. And see, I said I wasn't going to distract myself with jewelry, but now I have to. got into it. So the necklace is really wild because it's more of those beads and trees and just weird stuff. Um, it's like 3 or 4 different things that I took apart to build it. And there, it's not too much now that I've described it for you, right? See, I was naked without it. I feel naked when I don't have earrings on. I'm hilarious like that. Anyway, um, what else? I would be surprised if G Family will file an injunction. They know more DNA is there for the defense, in my opinion. So, Annie Ruler, I had never thought it or said it out loud, and I don't know if other content creators have, but just the fact that the G family is the only family that has an attorney, that is profound to me. That they felt the need to hire an attorney and that other families didn't feel the need to hire an attorney. Is that informative right there? That maybe there is something more to Kaylee. I mean, Kaylee's injuries were much worse than the other 3, it seems. And trigger warning, trigger alert, 56 or 57 gouges, not stabs, gouges. That's crazy. That is so, that's like overkill times 10 or 50. I mean, I don't even know. It's very personal. It's very up close. I'm thinking because they have an attorney that there's a reason that they have an attorney. And like I said, I had never really thought about it until just a day or 2 ago. I think I brought it up in last night's video. So, um, again, I don't know if other content creators have touched on that because it is so much trying to keep up with other content creators. And I love to try to, but you guys know that I also like to stay focused on the ones that I stick with. But there are good ones there's good ones out there that I know about that I always forget to watch just because I'm busy with everything else. Um, it's such BS that they're demolishing evidence for the sake of saving students from the emotional trauma when going to school. Well, see, and that's the thing is I don't think it's going to save anyone from the emotional trauma. Like, what the F is it going to change? Nothing. So for those that remember when the Berlin Wall came down, and I went to graduate school with somebody from East Berlin, she said that the wall coming down made the wall even stronger in people's minds. So, yeah, how's that? Um, it is BS. It's absolute BS. And I think that's just a story. I think that that's what they're saying is the reason. They're not going to say, well, we just want to destroy some evidence. I mean, right? Oh, thank you, Poison. I always love the earrings. Yeah, I have pink ones too. I love pink and I love green, and I like to mix pink and green when I can. But you have to be very careful, right? You can't just go mixing pink and green all the time. Like on the sleeves of my shirt, and I didn't sew these on, but it's funny because I have a different shirt that I did sew some stuff like this on, but then I found this one in a store and I'm like, hey, that's just like the one I made. But I did not make this one. And this is pink and green, but it's also more like red and green because red and pink. And yeah, anyway, isn't that cool? Kind of Christmassy, but not really. Anyway, yeah, it's still Christmas. 13 more minutes. It's almost over, kids. um, the reason they're demolishing demolishing, in my opinion, is because they want people to forget their student men and not think about it. Um, and yeah, it's not going to make people forget about it. I mean, that's crazy. So I like that. That's pretty cool looking. I like that. Nice. Oh, thanks, JR Nana. Are you talking about the necklace? Is that a sperm lamp you have behind you? A sperm lamp. That's cracking me up. Which one? Like this sperm lamp? Do you like the bridge with the little mouse on it? I'll give you a close up look of the little mouse. I love the little mouse. And he's got a backpack too. And you probably saw the squirrel with its mushroom backpack. I can put those together. Oh, I'm just so goofy with all my stuff, huh? But we got Justice back, so that's cool. Anyway, sperm lamp. Which one are you calling a sperm lamp? That is cracking me up. Which one? Yes, K face bashed in. Who knows? Allegedly from a beanbag gun shooting at her face. Enan giggled sickly. Einan. So thank you for bringing up that douchebag, Annie Ruler. Um, I didn't know face being bashed in. I did not know that. Um, Early on, there was allegations that I don't know if they are substantiated or not that her heart was ripped out. I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of weird stuff in this case early on about kind of butchering, right? I mean, Einan is a chef, and so he's good with knives, but there was a lot of talk when no one had been arrested yet that whoever did it was probably a hunter, probably a butcher. Um, yeah. And I want to say this, the fact that Einan Harsh thinks that the criminal defendant is guilty, literally, that makes me think that he's absolutely not guilty because something's up with Einan. He ain't right. He's probably a confidential informant. I mean, the cops all know him by name. Like, seriously, if you've seen some of the body cam footage of him getting pulled over, it's like they're all friends with him or something. Like, he interacts with them often, right? Um, so the fact that he's saying that the criminal defendant is guilty makes me think that he's scapegoating with the criminal defendant, and he seems sus, right? Is that lamp? It really doesn't very distracting at the sperm going up. Um, so, oh, is it this one? This one is just like a plastic ball with little fairy lights in it, and then it's got this weird tree kind of thing. I think it's from Party Light. A lot of my candles and candle holders are from that company, Party Light. I think it's an MLM company, isn't it? Yes, I think it is. Um, but I pick them up at consignment shops. I don't. I have never known a Party Light dealer. I used to do like Cookie Lee and Southern Living. I had friends that were selling those MLMs, and I never sold any of them, but I did buy a lot. I definitely had the parties for my friends to sell stuff. And yeah, it's crazy that MLM crap. I mean, again, it's good hobbies, but yeah, you're not going to make money. I mean, even Avon is like that. I mean, Amway is kind of the first one, but I did sell Avon when I was a little kid, and I was my best customer by far. I was a great customer. Isn't that funny? Um, so yeah, I guess that was my first job, but it didn't pay anything. I'm sure I lost money. It's the white one next to the orange. Okay, yeah, that is a tree thing. And there's another one up here just like it. And actually up higher on another shelf. Here, I can give you guys a full view. Da 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 da. There's more stuff. The top shelf there is another one. I think, is it up there still or did I move it? Oh, I think it's over here. I think uh, that's the brown one, but you can hardly see it because it gets lost in the dark. But isn't that cool? It just goes on and on and on. So, yeah, I had to make my set taller when I was doing the cell phone crap. And so now with the laptop, it's wider again. Anyway, fun to show you guys that sperm lamp. That is hilarious. Um, yeah. MSM interview, Enon, organs missing in college kids is a thing. So, Enon, MS mainstream media interview. Yeah, I mean, something's up with all of that. I mean, there's something big going on, you guys. In my opinion, there's something big going on that they're hiding. And I think that the demolition of the house could be because of tunnels, that they're trying to hide the tunnels, that they can demo it and then just fill them in and then no one will be the wiser. Um, it could be because of just how small the space is and the way the noise would carry. They don't want people to know that. Um, I'm surprised that the defense isn't fighting it. But again, you got to look at the fact that Ann Taylor is basically in cahoots with the prosecution. I mean, they all work together. So, um, yeah, organs missing in the college kids. Yikes. That is crazy. And Annie, it makes me think of the brain on the freaking dumpster outside of Sigma Chi the night that they were done in. Gray Pearl says, I find it odd how possessive the G family is over Maddie. Maddie is an orphan. She's not an orphan, right? Yet Steve and Christy act as if they were her caregivers. Well, her father was abusing substances. I don't know about her mom, but she was an only child. And it definitely seems like Maddie and Kaylee were so close that the Gonzo family, the G family, really took her in. I don't know if Maddie's mom, being a single mom with one kid, I don't know if she was as possessive with Kaylee. Maybe. JR Nana Boomer says, again, voice to text is awful via ATT. Verizon phones understood me much better. Yeah, I know. And it is so convenient. But yeah, you have to like proofread it because it will say the wrong things. Gray Pearl, I thought early on, Mr. G said he was helping with her college. I could be wrong. Her sis was at Wazoo. Um, let's see. He was helping Mr. G. Steve Gonzo was helping Maddie with college. I missed that. But yeah, she's definitely an only child. And the one with the sister at Wazoo is Xana. Xana's got a sister at Wazoo. So, very interesting. If the Gonzo family was helping Maddie with college, that would be pretty interesting. Oh my God, now I am seeing The swimmers everywhere. Oh, that's so funny. I know. Once you said that, I totally get it. Um, let's see. Find out the crystal ball for the round clear lamp, and I'm seeing them in that too. Yes, exactly. That one for sure. Um, and then there's little rainbow lights in this little lantern, so you could even start to see them in there if you look close enough. You can hallucinate them, right? They're everywhere. Let's see. Annie, I hadn't heard that, but wouldn't be surprised. I applaud and understand helping a kid in need along the way. Let me tag that one. Um, they seemed possessive of her. Bio parents have disappeared in her death. It's weird. Well, even the ashes were together, weren't they? Didn't the Gonzo family have Maddie's ashes like that? I did find strange, but those girls were super close, very, very close. Um, Voice to text, JR Nana Boomer, frustration. I think sometimes I'm dreaming about the tunnels being talked about by everyone and that they're there. And, for people to act like that's so crazy is so crazy, because I spoke about this a few times that even in Ohio, a lot of the colleges have tunnels underground for people to go to class in the winter. I mean, and Moscow, Idaho, where is it's always winter but never Christmas. I would think that they would have tunnels as much as some of the schools here in Ohio do, for sure. Absolutely. Um, some creators get upset at the mention of tunnels. They have maps. Why is it hard to believe? Well, and every city has, I mean, just the sewage systems. I mean, those are tunnels too. I mean, not that I would ever want to get in there, but there's cities underground in every city. What brain on the dumpster? JR Nana Boomer, you know the story about the brain on the dumpster, don't you? I know, when I just like throw it in there, if people aren't familiar, I'll go over it because it's serious. It sounds like you're kidding, right? It sounds like I'm kidding. My kids had a friend, and we just had four kids everywhere we went. Maddie seems like that. Totally. Absolutely. Because, yeah, the Gonzos had five kids, right? I'm pretty sure it was five. And so then, it's always good to keep your numbers even, seriously. So then with her, they'd have six, and then it's even. Steve likely paid for ashes too. I'm so glad I have my refill. I've been guzzling this water. Moscow heats with the tunnels. I do believe tunnels are there for trafficking. Mexico. Um, Mexican border has them. No, I don't know the dumpster. So I'll tell the dumpster story. The dumpster story. The brain on the dumpster is um, a parent of a college kid that he dropped off at a frat party that night of November 12th. When he dropped his kid off, he saw a brain on a dumpster right outside of Sigma Chi. And he was puzzled by it, but he didn't report it until Tuesday because he then heard about the quadruple unaliving on, was it Sunday? The party was Saturday night. The Sigma Chi party was Saturday night. And then um, Sunday morning was when the horrible, devastating crimes were committed. And then later Sunday, I'm sure word spread like wildfire, and everybody knew by the end of the day, within, I'm sure, a 50-mile radius at least. Anyway, then Monday he was still scratching his head about it. And then Tuesday he called the police to tell them about the brain on the dumpster. And Brett Payne, Corporal Brett Payne, who's the lead detective on the quadruple homicide, took that call and didn't do anything in person, just took the call and said basically, well, it was probably an animal brain, which I would hope that more than probably that it better be an animal brain, because there's only one other option, and that's not good. But it's nuts. Like, why in the world would you have that there? It makes me think Zombie Trap. That was Shan from Squirrels on Fire. The first time I spoke about it in the chat, I asked my viewers, like, what the hell is that? A freaking brain on a dumpster. And Shan was super quick with the Zombie Trap. So, yeah, it's a perfect zombie trap. But my thought is that it was a signal, either that tonight's the night or a signal that it's already been done. So I really believe that there's something to that crazy brain on dumpster. Let's see. My friend had to go to US tomorrow during COVID. He says there are signs, Cali and Arizona, from here in Baja. And I thought you had moved, Annie Ruler. I thought you moved to, the city of sin, Vegas. I thought you moved to Las Vegas. Or were you do you have a house in Vegas and a house in Baja? Are you like going back and forth, or are you in the process of moving? If you want to share. J.R. Nana Boomer says, I take it was a real brain, right? Well, apparently it looked like a real brain, and apparently that wasn't given as an option from the law enforcement. He didn't say, like, well, it's probably just animal or maybe a toy from the toy store. Yeah, that wasn't put out there as a possibility. So yeah, I think it was real. But you got to remember too that this campus has a lot of mutilated coyotes on doorsteps, right? I mean, that's a thing that's been going on for years, it sounds like. I mean, and then that whole thing with Buddy the dog. Oh my goodness, that was so sad. Remember Buddy the dog that was filleted and skinned? What was it, 2 weeks before this happened? And it was just like a mile and a half down the road, I think, maybe just right outside of town, down a country road. Annie Ruler says, I moved my Medicare to Vegas. Boyfriend has a place in Vegas, but 9 months or so in Cabo. Okay, I gotcha. I follow. Thank you for filling me in. So yeah, you guys, I'm kind of starting to trail off. It's been close to an hour and a half. I love you so much. It's so nice to see you. And it's no longer Christmas. Phew. Glad that's over with. All right, now we're safe to go. So yeah, let's see. We talked about the Idaho. We've talked about Kylie. We've talked just a tiny bit about Maui. Maybe talking about Maui for another minute before we wrap up. I wonder if where JS moved is having animals skinned. Huh. Yeah. So let's fly over to Maui real quick. Yeah, that cone is going to be filled with 20,000 cubic yards of toxic ash. And I guess they're going to put some kind of like plastic lining in there so it's not going to seep through. Like, it seems so unrealistic. JR Nana Boomer, that's crazy that they have the coyote mutilations and Buddy. Wonder if that's part of whoever is doing the coyote stuff. Yeah, it's some pretty crazy crap. There's definitely some crazy crap going on around there. Um, it doesn't seem like a good place to send your kids for college, in my humble opinion. I mean, I've got a college kid, and no way in hell would she be going there. No way in hell. And if something like that happened at her school, I would probably be trying my damnedest to get her to withdraw and change schools. Was that necklace laying sideways like that this whole time? How annoying. And is it there? It's supposed to be the greenish, the tree. Anyway. Okay, so the Maui situation is really dreadful. I did put the link to the petition um, to to undo the decision that they made at the city council to to go ahead and dump the ash in there. Pele's womb is what they call it. It's disgusting. And J.R. Nana Boomer says it makes the pagan stuff sound more accurate. So that was part of what the Seeker of Truth was talking about in their video tonight about rituals and that being a heavy element in Truckee and with Kylie Rodney, that being a heavy element in Idaho. And they even talked about, questioning if Idaho was kind of done by the same crew of people um, as a distraction from Kylie Rodney and Trinity Backus. I know that um, it seemed like a possibility to me in the beginning that it was a distraction, an intentional distraction, but I don't know if I believe that. At the beginning, I wondered, I questioned it, and I guess I do still. Um, I guess I do still wonder, but I don't really think so. That just seems so complicated, so orchestrated. I mean, anything's possible, but it seems like a reach. Um, the pagan stuff with both of those cases, but also with Lahaina. I know when I went to the Big Island, we went up to the volcano, and there was a a pig that had been sacrificed in the volcano, and I didn't look at it too much because it looked to me and my friend, it looked like it was um, ritual sadistic crap. I mean, it was just a big old bloody dead pig in this volcano area. So I don't know. I'd kind of forgotten about that until I just brought it up. Anyway, the Seeker of Truth was focusing on that type of connection with all three of those situations. So, like I said, anything's possible. But I would like to think that that's really reaching. I hope that there's not that type of extent to it. They even talked about I was telling CNY she should look more into Odin. I questioned it at the beginning, but I can see it realistically in everything now. Um, it goes back to Sunshine Fowler. Wow, JR Nana Boomer. Um, yeah, you wrote Sunshine Fowl. Maybe that's the voice to text, but yeah, Sunshine Fowler. Um, huh. I want to read your whole comment again. Um, they even talked about, I was telling CNY she should look more into Odin. So at the beginning of the Idaho 4 case, there was a lot of talk about that Church of Christ. And that church seems deeply embedded in everything in Moscow and possibly in this case. I don't know if there's any connection between Odin and the Church of Christ. That would be pretty creepy if there is. A lot of times, churches have different levels, and only some people in the church know about these levels. Only the people in the know. So, if those two things are connected, that would be extremely disheartening. Disheartening. Um, all right, you guys, I do need to wrap up. My throat is so raspy. One sec. Her name even alludes to acid and her being a priestess or whatever the officiant is called. I'm having trouble pinning that one. So yeah, you're talking about Summer Fowler or Sunshine Fowler. Is it Sunshine? It's Summer, isn't it? Isn't it Summer Fowler? I think. Anyway, my throat is really saying it's time to wrap it up. So thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Again, please make sure you're still subscribed and share the video and turn on your notification bell and hit that like button. Where is my big old creepy thumb? I like the big old creepy thumb because it's creepy, kind of Incredible Hulkish. It's gray, but it kind of looks green, huh? She is the leader of the religious cult. Feel better soon. Oh yeah, I'm not sick. I'm just kind of ready to call it a day because yeah, it's been a busy day. I guess I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but who did, right? Love you. Merry Christmas. There's a Astro Folk assembly nearby. The Northwood Kindred, they have a YouTube channel. Is that in is that the thing in Moscow? Or are you talking about the um, Kylie Rodney case? I think that's probably Moscow. Rest up. Yes, poise the noise. Thank you. Night all. How many lives have you had today? 234. I'm starting to lose track. How many lives have I had today? Just the one. But that brings to mind I am getting close to my 500th video in the almost year and a half that I've been doing this. Um, Good night and glad you had a nice Christmas. Thank you, Annie Ruler. I hope that everybody had a nice Christmas. And I don't know about you, but I am going to hit up a couple of my favorite stores for the after Christmas sales. I don't always do that, but I think I'm going to tomorrow morning. Planning my yoga tomorrow evening. So, peace out, you guys. Sending you light, sending you love. Thanks again. Merry Christmas and Festivus for the rest of us. I always like to say, um, take it easy and just be kind to yourself. Give yourself a big break and just allow yourself to put your feet up and maybe take a day off tomorrow and just really nurture yourself. Most of us do so many things for so many other people during the holidays. My family gave me a lot of like spa type of stuff so I can pamper myself, so I'll be doing that some tomorrow too. There were pelts and drink. Yuck, 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 yuck. Day after Christmas sales, yes, they can be a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, they can get pretty vicious too, right? It's like uh, it's a competitive sport of shopping. So, love and light to everyone, and Merry Unchristmas, I guess, because it's already the day after now. And I'm going to hit the end of stream. I will see you guys soon. I don't know when I will get onto my next live, but it'll be as soon as I can. Maybe not tomorrow, but the next day. You never know, though. It could be tomorrow. I've just missed you guys too much. And I want to get used to this new device. So thanks again. Love and light to everyone. And see you soon.